Yemen have been very busy this past week, and I'm going to show you some unprecedented footage in a second that was captured, rather transmitted from the drone itself that struck the Cyclades ship just yesterday. And then we'll go through all of the ships and other targets that they've struck in the last week. But let's begin first with the footage because it really is unbelievable. So this footage you're watching right now, it's not from a helicopter. It's coming from the drone itself that's about to strike the ship, okay? Now, people call these kamikaze drones or, you know, I mean, they're very similar to the German ones from World War II, the V1 Doodlebug. So that was really the original form of this sort of payload and rocketry. But you'll see in a second that they're about to strike this, and this is in the Red Sea, and this is a ship called Cyclades that was on its way to occupy Palestine. Right until the moment of impact. It's amazing. We've never seen footage like this before from Yemen. And let me show you what they've been up to because they've been very, very busy. So that was yesterday on April 29th. On April 26th, they struck the British oil tanker in the Red Sea, Andromeda Star. Now I'm going to pull up the maps because you know I love to do that. And we'll look at these one by one. So let's start first with Andromeda Star because you have to see the area of operations that they're in, okay? So first one is Andromeda Star, and that's in the Red Sea, okay? In the Red Sea. There's the Red Sea, the Bab el-Mandeb Strait is here, and then the Gulf of Aden. And you see the reason why Yemen is so tricky is because you have such limited space to get through the Bab el-Mandeb Strait. That's why it gives Yemen such a perfect vantage point, right? It's the equivalent of shutting the Suez Canal up in the north of the Red Sea. So that's number one, okay? And then the same day that they struck the Andromeda Star, they also struck an American drone, okay? An MQ-9 drone, and this was struck over Yemen. So this is the area where it was shot down. So you can see the Americans are very much active in the region. They've never stopped being there, and this is the problem with imperialism is that, you know, they tell you, for example, they're going to look into the Saudi support. They'll start giving the Saudi coalition less money to bomb Yemen, but then the Americans themselves are still inside. And these are violations of sovereignty every day, right? Either killing people or invading the airspace. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, you're under attack, right? This is an important point to remember. Now, the day before that, on April 25th, they struck an Israeli ship, MSC Darwin, and that was in the Gulf of Aden, okay? So again, just zooming out. This is the Gulf of Aden right there, okay? And you see also the Socotra Island, which is, I mean, it's such a strategic position between the Gulf of Aden, the Arabian Sea. You have Gulf of Oman to the north, and then, of course, the Indian Ocean down here. So going back to the list, after that, they hit Eilat. Now, this is, again, inside occupied Palestine or quote-unquote Israel. So the Yemenis are not just shooting down American drones. They're not just hitting the ships. They're firing all the way over 1,000 kilometers into Eilat, okay, or el-Rasharash, as it's called, right here, okay? Eilat is just the Israeli name, or Eilat. So they're firing all the way over there, over 1,000 kilometers. So these drones, and you saw from the footage, they're able to lock on with impeccable precision on moving vessels or fixed targets. Then after that, the day before that, preceding that, April 24th, Maersk Yorktown. Now, you might have heard these ship names before because, ironically, they just keep coming back up and down and Yemen just keep hitting them, right? Which just incurs further repairs, but nevertheless. That's in the Gulf of Aden. And then they hit a U.S. destroyer. So now we're not talking about a drone or a commercial ship, but a destroyer. A destroyer is a naval vessel, okay? Giant ship, giant ship equipped with missiles and everything. So the Americans, they're struggling very much, and that's why they've been unable to do anything about the blockade, because they can barely, get near Yemen without being fired at themselves with drones and with anti-ship ballistic missiles. So, people who were laughing, who thought like 6 months ago or 4 or 5 months ago that, what is Yemen going to do? What is Yemen going to do? You had serious people who are, serious analysts and so on, laughing at them, thinking that they're just going to show up and fire a bunch of drones into the sky. Man, do you imagine how many billions of dollars in losses they have inflicted on the Israelis, on the Americans, on the UK? This is serious money we're talking about here. It's not a joke, right? Not to mention a lifeline. When you're fighting a war, well, let's say you're conducting a genocide in the case of Israel. You need supplies, yes, to keep any army moving. And so by cutting off the Mediterranean Sea, the Red Sea, you've left only the Mediterranean Sea. But you've kept, you made sure the Israelis are vulnerable. So in addition to that, the same day they hit MSC Veracruz in the Indian Ocean. That's why I'm pulling out the map, because I wanted to do the giant zoom out. So look at this area of operations. Yemen are hitting from here to there. 1,500 kilometers. They're hitting inside the Red Sea, in the Gulf of Aden, in the Bab el-Mandeb Strait, and then in the Indian Ocean, making sure that you can't get past this wall. Because the option when you're trying to go around for, in order to avoid the blockade is only South Africa. I mean, you could obviously go this route, but who the hell would do that? You're already losing tons of money by going here instead of up there, right? By going down around Africa instead of up the Suez Canal. And so now you're faced with an even more frustrating prospect that you can't go up the Red Sea, nor can you go through the Indian Ocean. It's a master genius plan. I wonder sometimes how long the Yemenis have been cooking this up and planning this, because it's so well put together. It's so effective. It's so effective. And lo and behold, who can stop them? Who can stop them? If the United States and the United Kingdom cannot stop them, well, then obviously that says a lot about Yemen and about who possesses more operational capabilities, more strategic and tactical prowess. It's the Yemenis, without question. Without question. So what they've done in the span of 1 week, remember, all of this that I showed you, this is April 24, 25, 26, and then this is 29 with the Cyclades ship being hit in the Red Sea. Dude, this is truly phenomenal. It's truly impressive. And sometimes they make the front in Lebanon look like a joke. Obviously, I'm speaking figuratively, but I'm exaggerating it. But really, a lot of attention from me is focused more on Yemen than Lebanon. I'm sometimes thinking to myself, well, what is more impressive than this? Turns out they both outdo each other almost on a daily basis. But and I'll talk to you about Lebanon in just a second. But nevertheless, this has to be it has to be respected, whether you like it or you don't like it. Even the Israelis respect this. You know what I mean? You understand, like, that they don't like it, but they respect it from an objective strategic point of view. They have no choice. They have no choice. And the dumbest thing that Britain and America could have done is to screw with Yemen. That was the dumbest thing they ever did. Because from the moment they decided to bomb Yemen, now it's not just Israeli ships, it's American and British ships on the embargo list. On the embargo list under blockade. What a dumb thing to do. Who is the genius that thought this up? Who is the moron that thought, yeah, this would be a good idea, that will show them? Well done. well done. I'm sure you're proud of yourself. Now, it goes further than that. I'm about to show you another rather impressive piece of footage that was unveiled by the Yemenis. But before I do, look at the protests. Please admire not just the military capabilities of the Yemenis, but their civilians, their people, how they come out and protest like this every week. Okay, we were just talking about student protesters. Well, you got to respect the Yemeni protesters. You have to. Look at this. من يقتل شعب فلسطين يقتل أطفالا ونساء يقتل أطفالا ونساء ويحاصر برا وبحار ويحاصر So he's saying, you know, who kills women and children? And then they you know, it's like a callback. And then they say, America the Great to Satan, right? You have to admit, it slaps. It's really catchy. All right, but look, I'll let the footage keep rolling.
ويحاصر برا وبحار ويحاصر برا وبحار من جوع أطفال غزة.
Yeah, who is starving the children in Gaza? Yeah.
من جوع أطفال غزة من جوع أطفال غزة من هو سند الصهيونية من هو سند الصهيونية.
You know, what's impressive to me, and I mean this sarcastically now, it's impressive to me how someone can look at this footage and then the only conclusion that they draw from this is that, oh, they really hate America. They hate us for our freedom. No, they hate you because you're starving them, you fucking idiot. It's literally in the chant. Who is starving the children of Gaza? Who is killing the women and children in Gaza? Who is starving the women and children? Yeah, it's the United States. Who else? Who is, you know, the primary backer of Zionism? The United States. That's why. And the students understand this because those students have brains. They understand exactly what's going on. And that's why they say we want nothing to do with this crap. It's done. No more. Now, let me show you another bit of footage here that was published by the Yemenis.
في هذا المقام نقول للشعب الفلسطيني في غزة وفي سائر فلسطين، نقول للإخوة المجاهدين في فلسطين في غزة العزة، لستم وحدكم.
لستم وحدكم. So you're not alone. Now that was very impressive, and you understand the message here. At the very end, what do you see? You see the Aqsa Mosque there with the golden dome. And so the wall here that they blew up, that's the apartheid wall, right? I'm assuming they mean the one in Gaza, right? Because they're talking about Gaza, and the problem with the Israelis is that they put up so much damn walls, you don't even know which one we're talking about. The one in Gaza, the fences there, the West Bank, Bethlehem. You know, they have a million checkpoints and sniper towers and so on, right? It's really like a concrete prison camp. And so, in any case, the point here is not just, you know, that they're coming to liberate Palestine and Gaza and Jerusalem. It's also the operational capability. They're sending a message here that, look, we also have tunnels and our own infrastructure in Yemen that you will never find. We also have our trained forces with all the gear that they could possibly need. We have RPGs, we've got snipers, you know, we've got everything we need. And obviously this is nothing compared to what we're seeing now with the anti-ship ballistic missiles and the naval capabilities, which have really been the stars, and the aerial capabilities, which have been the stars of the show. But nevertheless, I wanted to show you this because a lot of people don't actually think of how it is in Yemen. You know, what do the fighters look like? What kind of capabilities do they have? How are they in other things? You know, what is the message that they're trying to convey? What do they want? What's the ultimate goal? And again, this is all part of the road to Al-Aqsa, the road to Jerusalem, right? There's a reason why the October 7 operation was named Al-Aqsa Flood, because they're talking about the mosque in Jerusalem. It means to liberate Jerusalem and the holy site. And then also the fact that 2 years ago, you know, well, now it's 2021, in May 2021, that was also named after Al-Aqsa, right? And it's a way for the Palestinians in Gaza to show solidarity with those in Jerusalem and the West Bank, but it's also a way for the Arab people, whether they're in Iraq, whether they're in Yemen, to also show solidarity with Palestine. That is something that has never gone. So, you know, the case that I make is that Pan-Arabism did fail in terms of bringing about change with leaders, but if you look at the Arab people, it actually succeeded, and to this day, many of the countries have kept those Pan-Arab colors in the flags, right? Yemen, I mean, the guy whose patch we were just looking at in the video, look here, for example. These are the Arab colors. You'll find them in the Syrian flag, the Iraqi flag, the Palestinian flag, Jordanian, etc., etc. So there's something that needs to be said about that it's never died. And you see that through the support that people express in other countries, as we said earlier, like Saudi Arabia, like Jordan, like Egypt, the ones that are ironically backed by Israel in the US. You can't say anything because they're backed by Israel in the US. They don't want you to open your mouth. But yeah, this is something important to note, that it failed politically, but in terms of changing the leadership or having everyone enter into a federation or union, but it succeeded in winning over the hearts and minds of the Arab people, and it's still there to this day. So in any case, I just wanted to kind of show off and flex the Yemenis' naval and aerial capabilities, because it's been a rather busy week, honestly, and really, really incredible. Do you guys hear any of this in mainstream media, or even actually in a lot of quote-unquote alternative media? No, because they don't know what they're doing. They don't know how to follow the war. They don't understand it's a multi-front war. And you know, that's something that I've been telling you guys since day one. And those who know, they know. What characterizes this war is not just the genocide in Gaza, which is the negative, the horrific, the terrorizing you know, campaign carried out by the Israelis, but there's also the good side of it, where it's united the Arab factions. Not all of them are state actors. Obviously, Syria is the only one, but nevertheless, you have to understand that it's something that's unprecedented to see America and Israel bogged down on multiple fronts. You've never seen this before. It's never happened, and that's why it's significant. And obviously, the Yemenis, they like to shine. Again, YouTube demonetized my channel because I'm not allowed to say naughty things about Israel. You know, telling the truth is forbidden. So if you are able to donate a few dollars on PayPal or on a monthly basis on Patreon, please consider doing it, because it would really help me continue my journalism and support independent media. So I'd be very grateful. And the links are in the description and also in the chat. Thank you guys very much again for all your donations and all your kind comments. I appreciate it very much.